Hey, Taylor Pettis back again with another digital discussion. Today's discussion is focused on local SEO. The phone book is a distant memory for most people, but you already knew that. If people aren't picking up the yellow pages to find local businesses or services anymore, what are they doing? Hey, you know the answer to this. They're using Google, and they're using it in their everyday life. So yes, your target consumers are doing the same exact thing here. And today we're going to hear some tips about local SEO from an SEO expert and Moz Blog Contributor, Andy Thomson. And he'll teach us how to enhance your local SEO. So let's introduce Andy. I know you can see him on the screen. Andy, I know you, but others listening out there may not. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe what are 3 remarkable things that people should know?
Yeah, hey Taylor, my name is Andy Thomson. I'm a SEO specialist here. I'm from Minneapolis. I was born in Boston. I have a marketing degree from DePaul University, where I was also a basketball manager for the team there. I wasn't good enough to play, but I was good enough to hold the towels for the guys who played, so something I can brag about. And I'm in general a giant basketball fan and a resident of Minneapolis.
Hey, that's awesome. So basketball fans, so we could probably do another segment next time on marketing for basketball or SEO for basketball. Well, actually, you organize an NCAA tournament bracket, so I should have known you're a basketball fan, but we can talk about that another time. Let's keep to local SEO today. So what is local SEO, or maybe how is local SEO different from SEO? Or is it all the same?
Yes. Local SEO is sort of a segment of SEO in general. Search engine optimization has to do with everywhere your customers might see your brand online. So that doesn't just include your website. That includes Google searches, Yahoo searches, Bing searches. And where local SEO comes in is when a customer might be searching for your business's location. So if you have an office, you have a store, and somebody is coming to interview with you or coming to buy something, they need to find your location, find your contact information. Local SEO has to do with how you can optimize your website and all of the other places your brand name appears, such as multiple listing sources, including Google and Facebook and a lot of other things.
So nearly every marketer talks about mobile first. Is local SEO a mobile first strategy, or are people using, is it more relevant, I guess, for mobile devices is a better way of asking the question?
Definitely, that's a good way to look at it. I believe that Google search results for local searches, the results change every couple miles. So if you're riding in a car or on a bus, not driving, of course, and you're doing a Google search, your results will change as you go past every exit. If you're looking for a pizza shop or a coffee shop, so a lot of those searches with local intent are really dynamic in the eyes of Google. So mobile is a good place to start. You have to think about where people are searching. It even varies from retail stores and restaurants to service area businesses like a plumber or an electrician or anyone who might serve a large metro area.
Okay, cool. So you talked a little bit about where to start, or we hopped in a little bit where to start, maybe with mobile, but I want to tap a little bit more into something that you recently contributed to the Moz blog, and it serves more as a baseline or a case study for local SEO. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that I think that listeners might be able to use something like what you provided there as kind of a good baseline or place to start. So tell us a little bit more about what you shared with Moz blog, and maybe about a couple of resources that might help people dip their toe into local SEO.
Sure. Yeah, my article was on the Moz blog, which is user-generated content. So I chronicled the process of the 3 Deep office moving across town. So we moved about 3 blocks across downtown St. Paul, and we wanted to make sure that we were changing our address in the eyes of Google in the right way. So we started from the top and did a local SEO audit of 3 Deep's site and of our local search landscapes, as we like to call it. So the article encompasses everything from getting all of your information straight to managing the citations, as they're called, on every outside website like Google and Facebook and multiple others.
Cool. So you said something interesting there. You said a local SEO audit. So tell me a little bit more. What does an audit entail? What are you auditing? What are you auditing? What are items that you're looking for? What are stuff that would be good signs or maybe red flags?
Yeah, so I actually started with an audit process that I got from another article on Moz. In case you didn't know, Moz is pretty much a central source for SEO advice, search advice, online marketing stuff. And the local audit template was written by a guy named Casey Mraz, and it's a long article about how to look at your own website, what to look for to make sure that you don't have any misinformation, and you have the correct code on your website, as well as how to look at all these other inputs. So it's a long list of things to do, a big checklist of things to work on. And one of the things you do is you have this spreadsheet that he actually provides for free. It's just a Google sheet. You download and make a copy for yourself, and you add all your information there so you can make sure it's consistent across all of the places it can be found. Because that's a big important thing in local SEO, is making sure that your information is as accurate as possible. Because there are little things that can slip you up. Like with 3Deep, we've had issues with just what to call our company. So we have 3Deep Inc. happens to be the legal business name of our company, but we go by 3Deep Marketing because 3Deep doesn't actually describe anything that we do. But the best practice, according to Google, is to be legal, be as representative as possible of what's happening in real life. So what had happened with our audit is we went through and just wrote down stuff like our legal business name, our address, our phone number, and then you have to go, you make sure it's straight on the website, and then go and make sure it's straight on other services. So yeah, that's the process.
So consistency is key. So let's talk a little bit more about resources, or about some additional resources. So you talked about Moz, you talked about the checklist that you found through Casey. What are some other resources that people might use, or helpful tips you have?
Yeah. Moz Local is a good resource. Of course, we've said Moz a lot, but one of the reasons they're popular is they have this tool called Moz Local, and you can go in there and put your website in there, and they have a database of listing sources and the individual citations across the internet, and they evaluate your website and your website's contact information compared to their whole database, and they give you a score. So you can go there for free, put your website in, and it'll tell you out of 100% how accurate your citations are. And our own website didn't score that great to begin with. It has improved in the time since we've done the audit. So it proves out. It gives you a lot of individual sources where you can go and fix citations here and there. And if you pay them, they will manage that update process a little bit better for you. So it automates a lot of things. And there are some other helpful resources as well. If you are willing to pay, there's something called Yext, which automates the citation even a little further than Moz does. It costs a little more. But, it's up to you on how much. It also depends on what kind of business you have. If it's really important, if you have multiple locations, that's a huge challenge for people with local SEO, managing different locations. So there's lots of different things for lots of different needs.
We're getting together again soon to host a local SEO webinar. And I think you're sharing some simple steps on how consumers can help find brands. Tell us a little bit more about the event, or what people can expect to learn.
Yeah, in the webinar, we'll cover a lot of the things that I covered in my article. My article is pretty long, so got to cover a little bit more in depth into some of those the ways that those topics can apply to different companies. We'll break down some of the tools like Moz Local, managing your data in Google, which I guess I didn't mention that the service Google has is called Google My Business. It's been called a lot of different things like Google Places, and it involves Google Maps and Google Plus. Managing that is a challenge, so we'll go into that in some depth, and we'll also talk about the different business categories like a retail or a service area business as well as a simple brand with an office, and in general, the best practices to managing your local SEO.
So depending on your location, the type of business you are, or the types of services you provide, your local SEO strategy might be different than a different business.
That's correct. And there are lots of inputs to that. It includes your business categories. So Google allows you to declare your categories, but you can't just be whatever you want. Like, we can't just go in and say we're a digital marketing agency. We're limited to the categories that Google provides. Now, they might update those over time, but there are issues there that you have to sort of comply with, and that's sort of some of the challenges.
That makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
We're definitely looking forward to learning more about that. Last thing we'll do is kind of a final thought, if you will. So the last item, if you could share one item about local SEO, what would it be? And I totally realize I'm asking you to boil an extremely large topic down into something that's so simple. But what would be the one piece of advice that you have for like this extremely complex topic?
I guess one of the biggest issues is authenticity. This is kind of a hot button no matter what marketing tactic or marketing area you're thinking about. But authenticity is a thing that can penalize you. If you're not being truthful in your local SEO, Google won't rank you. If you use virtual phone numbers, for instance, even call tracking numbers, if they don't have an area code in it, it's not a good phone number to use for your local SEO. Now, that's kind of something surprising to a lot of companies because call tracking is important to see where those leads come from. But just being representative of what happens in real life is the goal of local SEO, because you want people to find your location. Like, we had a pretty big problem with just managing which door the pin in our building, the Google pin on the map, where it appears on the block where our location is, because there's a restaurant in our building, and you don't want people who are coming to a digital marketing agency at 10 o'clock in the morning to walk to a locked restaurant door. So things like that, it's just hard to manage things if they're not true. So yeah, it's just authenticity and honesty, just like your mother told you.
I love it. So everything you need to know about SEO is taught to you in kindergarten. So transparency, exactly. Honesty, and just be a good citizen. I love it.
That'll be the title of my book.
All right. SEO for kindergartners. No, not that simplistic, but I like it.
Copyright.
Well, hey, thanks again, Andy. Really appreciate your time today and looking forward to our event together.
All right. Thanks, Taylor. Looking forward to it too.